Good morning, welcome back to In the Garden. Paul and Taft here. And okay, Paul, we're getting towards fall. And when we think about fall, we always think about, let's see, cooler temperatures, football season, and also getting out in our yard and maybe throwing out some seed and getting it ready to grow. We're talking about fescue and we're talking about rye today. First of all, what about fescue?
Well, probably 95% of all the shaded lawns in this area are planted with fescue. It is by far and away the most popular of the shade-tolerant grasses. It can tolerate sun, but you got to water it a lot. Based on your forecast, I think that this coming week is perfect for planting fescue and the rye as well. Typically, we say right after Labor Day. Well, lo and behold, right after Labor Day. So thanks for that. Thanks for bringing the proper temperatures and such. Most fescues, all of them that we sell here at Southwood, are blends. And I like that. They usually contain about 5 different kinds of fescue. The great part about that is where some may not be perfect in the area where you're sowing them, the others will make up the difference. Okay. So you kind of get the best of all 5 worlds that way. The ryes, however, are just plain rye. There's an annual rye and a perennial rye. The annual is great if you just want to overseed a Bermuda lawn and just have some green through the winter. The perennial rye is one that will hang in there, and it's a great grass, but by far and away, fescue is the most popular in this area.
Okay, when we talk about fescue, I've tried it before and haven't had as much success with it. What do we need to do whenever we're looking at those areas that are just bare and we want to get something in there, hopefully to get it to grow as we move through the rest of the season?
If you've got a bare spot, then you need to take a metal rake and really scratch the surface really well, okay, so that you get good seed to soil contact. Not a bad idea to actually step over the area, or if it's a big area, you can use a roller to really make sure you get that good seed to soil contact. If you're overseeding an existing Bermuda lawn, for instance, or a fescue lawn, then you can just go ahead and just sow it using a drop spreader, a broadcast spreader, even a little handheld spreader. Those are real convenient, because it'll bind to that soil, and the existing turf will shade it enough to where it'll germinate. Typically takes about 7 to 10 days. The real key is water. Okay. You have got to keep that soil bed moist, the seed moist, okay, so they can, what we say, imbibe the water. And what that typically means is you're going to water twice a day. Okay. Do it in the morning, do it again late afternoon, because if that seed does not stay moist, it will not germinate.
All right, and then we talk about rye, the differences in rye as opposed to fescue. How do we know which one we want? Is it more just whichever one we like over the other, or is there reasons where we'd use rye instead of fescue?
Not really. I mean, they can both be used in pretty much the same way. There are just some people, a much smaller percentage of people, who like rye. But again, fescue's really, we got Bermuda and Zoysia as warm season grasses in this area, and then the fescues and ryes are the cool season grasses. They need cool weather to germinate. It's actually a non-native grass. It's from Asia, but it really loves life here in Oklahoma.
And as we move through the rest of the fall, what else do we need to do after it starts to germinate after that 7 to 10 days? Kind of watering practices or fertilizer, anything that we need to do?
You can go ahead and fertilize at the same time you seed if you want. And there are a number of different fertilizers that work. The biggest mistake people make is they get real excited. They see that germination, they see that grass grow and grow and grow, and then they wait until it's this tall to mow it. And when you do that, you're going to stress it terribly because that root system isn't really well established. Mm-hmm. So don't get too excited. Go ahead and mow once it starts to develop. Again, 7 to 10 days, it should germinate, and within about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, should be ready for the first cutting.
All right, which makes it easy. So as we start to lose the Bermuda and we start to lose that color, we're going to see the color popping on up with our fescue and our rye.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, people typically sow spring and fall, mm-hmm, just because they want to keep that lawn green. Fall is the best time. Okay. If you can only afford to do it once, as a matter of fact, then absolutely do it in the fall. And when you fertilize, it'll convert those foods into carbohydrates, store those, and then next spring, it'll be ready to just come on strong.
So we've been kind of lounging the last couple of months like we're doing right here in the summertime, but now fall's here and it's time to get busy in the yard again.
Yeah, we're on a mountain of fescue today. I like this.
Yeah, we sure are. This is kind of a nice shot, comfortable as well.
Pretty cushy on my tushy.
Yeah.